Nikola Tesla had an obsession that his rivals couldn't understand and his enemies feared. He was fixated on three numbers, 3, 6, and 9. Not casually interested, obsessed. He would walk around buildings 3 times before entering, demanded hotel rooms with numbers divisible by 3, and used exactly 18 napkins at dinner. People thought he was losing his mind, but Tesla wasn't going insane. He was cracking a code that governs how reality itself operates. He was applying mathematics, discovering a pattern woven into the fabric of existence itself, appearing in everything from the spiral of galaxies to the structure of your DNA. Tesla once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." What he actually meant was that reality is not solid or fixed, it is frequency and vibration organizing itself into patterns, and the master code running beneath everything is 3-6-9. His competitors dismissed this as eccentricity, thinking his brilliance was being corrupted by mystical nonsense. But they were wrong. Tesla's obsession with 3-6-9 was the very foundation of his work. It is how he could envision inventions that seemed impossible and see solutions that eluded everyone else. He was operating from a completely different understanding of how reality functions at the most fundamental level. The people who truly saw the implications of what he was saying didn't dismiss him as crazy, they feared him. Because if Tesla was right, then everything they thought they knew about physics, power, and control was built on an incomplete understanding. Tesla was threatening to reveal that the universe operates on principles far more elegant and accessible than the complicated systems they had built their empires on. If there's a pattern underlying all of reality and you can learn to recognize it, you're no longer at the mercy of randomness. You're working directly with the code and speaking the language of the universe. In mathematics, Tesla noticed that when you perform certain operations, 3, 6, and 9 behave differently than all other numbers. Take any number and keep doubling it. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, and 8 becomes 16, which reduces to 7. Keep going, and you get an infinite loop of 1-2-4-8-7-5. But that pattern never touches 3, 6, or 9. They exist in a completely separate system, governing the physical sequence from the outside. While doubling 3 and 6 only alternates between themselves, 9 has its own supreme behavior. Any number multiplied by 9 always reduces back to 9. It is complete unto itself. Tesla realized the numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8 represent the physical world, matter and energy that you can touch and measure. But 3, 6, and 9 represent the organizing field behind the physical world, the pattern that tells the matrix how to arrange itself. He looked at nature and saw this pattern repeating systematically in the way plants grow in spirals following the Fibonacci sequence, where 3, 6, and 9 appear at specific structural intervals. In sacred geometry, from atomic structures to the flower of life in ancient architecture, these relationships are fundamental. The universe itself prefers these numbers when organizing energy into form. Sound creates perfect symmetrical patterns through cymatics when played at frequencies with 3-6-9 harmonic structures, while other frequencies create chaos. Even time follows this rhythm, with 24 hours reducing to 6 and 12 months reducing to 3, repeating consistently across lunar and solar cycles. Tesla understood that 3-6-9 is the resonant frequency of creation itself. In physics, if you play the exact frequency of a tuned guitar string nearby, the string starts vibrating on its own through harmonic alignment. This is resonance. When you align your intention, focus, and energy with this pattern, you tune yourself to the frequency reality already operates on, and through simple physics, reality begins to respond. This is why Tesla could envision inventions that seemed impossible. He was thinking in resonance with how energy naturally wants to move and systems naturally organize, recognizing patterns that were already there waiting to be seen. How does this mathematical blueprint translate into your actual life? Here is what Tesla understood that most people miss. You don't create using 3-6-9, you are already creating with it. Every thought, emotion, and action has been moving energy in patterns your entire life. Some aligned with the universal code and flowed, while others fought against it and struggled. The shift happens when you stop being unconscious about it and recognize that your focus is a frequency, your emotion is an amplification, and your persistence is resonance building over time. Meaningful synchronicities like thinking of someone right before they text, or overhearing the exact information you need are not accidents. They are moments when your frequency matched the field, and reality organized itself to deliver resonance. Imagine doing that on purpose. When you hold a clear intention, charge it with genuine emotion, and return to it consistently, you are broadcasting a frequency aligned with the universal code. 3 represents initiation, the spark and the beginning of creation. When you plant an intention and declare what you are creating without asking for permission, you activate 3 energy, and the field begins organizing around it. 6 represents the heart and emotion, the magnetic force that attracts. Intention without feeling has no magnetic pull, but adding emotion provides the carrier wave that the field cannot ignore. 9 represents completion and fullness, the culmination where potential collapses into physical reality. 9 contains all numbers, representing the harvest where you already hold it energetically and the physical world is just catching up. This is the rhythm of creation. Initiate clearly, feel deeply, trust completely, and let the pattern organize chaos into form, translating frequency into physical actuality. Recognition of this code is the first step toward conscious alignment. Before this understanding, Tesla was brilliant but constantly struggling against the limitations of conventional thinking. Once he recognized the 3-6-9 pattern, he stopped trying to make people understand or forcing his inventions to fit into existing frameworks. He started trusting his own resonance. This is what happens when you truly understand this code. You stop looking for external validation or waiting for permission from people operating in the old paradigm. Your intuition becomes your consciousness, recognizing the pattern before your logical mind can even articulate it. The reason Tesla's enemies feared this knowledge wasn't because they thought it was nonsense. You don't desperately confiscate the notes of a madman, you confiscate knowledge that threatens your position. What threatened them was the implication that everything they built their empires on was unnecessarily and deliberately complicated just to keep people dependent and paying. Tesla was proving that complexity isn't sophistication, sometimes it is just confusion sold as necessity. He showed that when you understand resonance, energy wants to flow freely, and impossible things become simple, clear, and direct. That simplicity is dangerous to anyone whose authority depends on navigating complexity. By recognizing the pattern, You reclaim sovereignty over your own creative process and step out of systems that tell you creation requires their mediation. You are standing at the same crossroads Tesla stood at, the choice to use or ignore this pattern. You can treat this as interesting information, or you can start living from the pattern, making choices based on what resonates rather than what is expected. Progressively, reality will respond differently. Things that used to be a struggle will start flowing, opportunities will appear, and the right people will show up at the right time because pattern builds on pattern and resonance amplifies resonance. Beneath the chaos and confusion, there is a simple, elegant mathematical map to reality. The universe has been broadcasting 3-6-9 since before time began. Align your intention clearly, charge it emotionally, trust it completely, and let the pattern translate possibility into physical actuality, exactly like Tesla said.